Guys, what's good? It's your boy Phil. Today we're going to talk about some Record of Ragnarok Chapter 60. I want to talk about some of the things I think could happen, some previews and predictions. Dropping this one a little bit earlier because I don't know when the chapter is going to drop. I'm assuming it's going to drop within maybe the next week or two. So hopefully by then we'll be able to read the shit and we'll be able to see what goes down. Now, couple of cool big things happened last chapter. Obviously, we had the giant backstory flashback chapter of my boy Chin, explaining some of his powers, what's up with the dude, and on that type of lore type stuff. I was very happy with that chapter. I thought that chapter was really sick. But there's still a lot of time left in this round. I feel like we haven't even broke the surface of what this round is going to be all about. I feel like we haven't even explored the other dude in the fight, my fucking boy Hades. So we'll see if that's gonna happen next chapter. I hope so. I definitely hope so for sure. But like I said, I think there's a lot of time left in this round. And I don't really think I have a clear favorite yet for who I think is going to come out on top of this round. I mean, my boy Chin has gotten so much development so far in the series, and yeah, I feel like a lot of people are leaning towards Chin now, especially based off the last few chapters. I feel like we have a lot of Chin boys out there, but the script could flip in a few pages, bro. So we'll see. We'll see what happens next chapter. Guys, without further ado, let's do this shit. Hi, how's it going? It's come to my attention that only 16% of you mad lads out there are subscribed. That's not good. So if you like the video and you like some of the things I talk about in my videos, then hey, drop a sub, man. Drop it. It's free. You just gotta click it. It's right there. But anyways, watch. Here's the video. I truly believe that next chapter is going to be the Hades chapter. I really think so. I think if it's a double chapter, that's cool too, but I think next chapter is going to be the Hades backstory chapter. I think it is. I think it's time. I think it's time. If it's not a straight up round combat chapter, I think it's going to be the Hades chapter. I really do, because dude, we have got nothing on this dude. We've got nothing on this dude. We have been starving and craving something of substance for my boy Hades. All this dude has done so far in the series, in this fight, I should say, not the series, is just wave around his little staff, right? Just wave around his little staff and swing that shit around. I feel like now with the revelation from him, at least, that Chin has this absorption effect, right? He takes the damage of what he sees, right? Why he wears the blindfold and all that shit. I feel like now with that revelation is a good time to explore my boy Hades a bit more, and I think it's gonna happen. I really do. I think it is gonna happen. So there's that, right? I think we're due for some Hades lore, some Hades action, whatever you want to call it. Flashbacks of him in like Helheim or some shit, something like that. I think we're due for that for sure. I don't know if it's gonna be a majority or if it's gonna be like just a little, like a couple pages or some shit. I think we're gonna get a little bit of that for sure, but I think there's also the possibility that we get the a nice big chunk of combat in chapter 60, because we still have 2 more forms. I believe it's 2. Yeah, we have 2 more forms left in my boy Chin's fighting style, right? And it seemed like at the end of last chapter, chapter 59, it seemed like we were going in the direction of going back into combat, fighting this shit. So that'll be interesting. That'll also be interesting because now I think my boy Hades is gonna try and play around with my boy Chin's self-damage effect, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe my boy Chin is gonna have to fight like in regards to this self-damage shit, right? So it's gonna be really interesting with this information on the table now. And I don't know how it's gonna go down. I don't know, like, story-wise, how my boy Hades is gonna feel about this, because what if my boy Chin just takes so much damage that he dies, right? I feel like Hades is not the type of guy that'll count that as a win. I don't think he'll be very happy with that. So there's a lot of cool plot things they could do with this this new self-damage thing that's going on. I'm actually very excited to see what happens. I feel like there's gonna be some there's going to be some cheese here. There's going to be something weird that goes down with either my boy Sheen's abilities or my boy Hades' abilities. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I feel like there's going to be some twist. There's going to be a twist in this round, and I'm not sure what it is. I could see my boy Sheen dying to his own damage. I could see that happening. And like I said, I don't know how Hades would feel about that. I don't know how he'd feel about that at all. But we'll see. That's something I could definitely foresee happening. But I think the spotlight is slowly starting to shift. I feel like last chapter, 59, being the giant backstory chapter that it was, I definitely think that was the peak of spotlight that my boy Sheen was gonna get, because the chapter was literally just all about him. So I think now with chapter 60, we're gonna see the perspective shift a little between the two. I think we're gonna, you know, toss up different perspectives. We'll see maybe Sheen and his little bodyguard in the stand maybe next chapter. We'll see it switch back to like Hades, and Hades has his own like flashbacks and shit going on. That's what I foresee happening next chapter for sure. I don't know if it's going to be the full-on Hades chapter that we're going to get at some point, because that's just what happens in these rounds, right? Every contestant always gets like a chapter dedicated to their lore or like their backstory and all that shit. I don't know if it's going to be that next chapter for Hades, but it's definitely coming for sure. I think 60, a safe bet to put on is that it's going to be a combat chapter, which I'm excited for because, dude, I want to see more combat from my boy Hades. It'll leave such a sore, salty taste in my mouth if this dude Hades, all his abilities are just him waving around his staff. I'll feel pretty shitty because I felt like this guy deserves way more cool powers than just that. Like invisibility, right? That's in his lore, dude. He could go invisible and shit. We could do like some necromancy type shit, right? We have this whole Colosseum that's ornate and fucking decorated to this guy's specifications. So I don't know. I feel like Hades is got a lot of shit going on, and I want to really start to explore that. So those are kind of the giant big things that I foresee happening in chapter 60, like straight up directly chapter 60 of Record of Ragnarok. Obviously there's going to be more twists, right? There's going to be more twists. Maybe we have some giant revelation about Hades. Maybe my boy Sheen has another twist up his sleeve. Who knows? I mean, like I said, he has 2 other fighting styles left in his arsenal, so look out for those. A couple of other things I wanted to talk about. Nostradamus, I feel like a lot of people are forgetting about him. He's still lurking. Now I don't think he's gonna like pop up in the round or anything like that, but I've already seen people start to speculate about like what's the next round gonna be, and and who's my boy Nostradamus gonna fight. Loki, who's he gonna fight? That type of shit. Beelzebub, right? This guy got thrown into the series as well. And this is something I alluded to earlier, how we have all these characters that like are in the roster, right? That they're supposed to fight in the series at some point. But they're kind of they're just like all over the place. They're checkerboarded all over the place in different areas and different scenes and all that stuff. Like Beelzebub, he's like underground and shit, and like Odin showed up there. You got Nostradamus, who's watching the fight right now. So you got all these different characters that are all over the place. We saw another contestant, I think a few chapters ago. The other Japanese, I can't think of his name right now. That guy who everyone wants to fight. I think everyone wants him to fight Loki, which is kind of funny. Yeah, all these different characters are all over the place. I think the most important one is Nostradamus, because it still confuses me why Nostradamus was like introduced into the series so early. Like they introduced him right in that chapter, and then they were like, no, he's not gonna fight. Sheen is gonna fight instead. And it was just weird. It was weird why they introduced him. I don't know if he's gonna be like a recurring character until he does fight, because we're assuming he's gonna be like the last human to fight, the way they were hyping him up and shit. So that's weird. That's really weird. But you know, it's kind of interesting though how, see, I still think about the ending credit scene of the anime, bro, and how they foreshadow like all the different matchups and shit. like, I feel like we're still on the correct path of that ending cutscene. It's weird. It's really weird, because we have the spears, and I think that would correlate with Sheen, right? And then after that, I think we get the stars, so it's weird. It's going to be odd. It's going to be really weird. But guys, those are some of the things I'm looking for in Chapter 60 of Record of Ragnarok. Let me know down below, what do you think is going to happen in the chapter? Some of the things you're looking out for. I think we're due for a combat chapter for sure. Maybe, cross my fingers, a double chapter. Who knows? But until then, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.